Why is it so easy to focus on the darkness? Why do we magnify what hurts and diminish what heals? And still, light is always there. The sun rises, the stars burn, the moon glows. Even when hidden behind clouds, they are constant. You are never alone. Sometimes we forget the vastness of it all, that we exist in a universe of galaxies beyond comprehension. And still, in all that enormity, we feel small. But small doesn't mean invisible, and being alone doesn't mean abandoned. What makes life worth living is feeling, even when it's messy, even when it hurts. Because to feel fully, deeply, is to be alive. And in those quiet moments, when I sit with my emotions instead of running from them, I begin to see clearly. Sometimes I question the reasons why we become who we are. Yes, a lot of it comes down to upbringing, family, and the kind of love we received when we were young. Our parents, our teachers, our friends. They leave imprints on us, sometimes in ways we don't even notice until much later. But at the same time, I've noticed something strange. Some people carry deep pain even though from the outside they seem to have every reason to be happy. And others who grew up with almost nothing somehow shine with kindness, strength, and love. That makes me wonder, what really shapes us? Is it just our environment? Is it genetics? Or is there something deeper? Something like the choices we make about how we respond to the things life throws at us. Think about it. Two people can go through the exact same hardship. One might grow bitter and angry, while the other becomes compassionate and resilient. Why is that? Maybe pain isn't just something that hurts us. Maybe it's also something that molds us, depending on how we decide to carry it. And maybe that's the mystery of being human. We're not just a product of what happened to us. We're also the product of how we interpret it and how we choose to move forward. This is something the philosopher and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl thought a lot about. Frankl survived the horrors of the concentration camps during World War II, and yet he came out with this powerful idea that even when life strips away everything, freedom, comfort, safety, we still have one thing left, and that's the freedom to choose how we respond. For him, suffering wasn't the end of the story. It could actually be the place where we discover meaning. Two people might face the exact same hardship. One falls into despair, while the other uses it as fuel to live with greater purpose. Frankl believed that it's the search for meaning, even in pain, that really shapes who we become. But this idea isn't just for extraordinary situations like war or concentration camps. It applies to everyday life. We've all faced disappointments, losing a job, ending a relationship, failing at something we deeply cared about. In those moments, we have a choice. We can let the setback define us as failures, or we can use it as a lesson, as raw material for growth. Think about someone who's gone through a heartbreak. One person might close themselves off, never wanting to love again, afraid of being hurt. Another person, having gone through the same pain, might become more empathetic, more compassionate toward others, more capable of deep love because they now understand its fragility. The experience itself doesn't dictate the outcome, it's the meaning we assign to it. And isn't that what resilience really is? Not pretending that pain doesn't hurt, but allowing pain to teach us something, to expand us rather than shrink us. And here's something important. Meaning isn't always something we discover all at once. Often it's something we create slowly, by the small choices we make day after day. Choosing patience when we could snap. Choosing forgiveness when holding a grudge would be easier. Choosing to keep going when giving up feels tempting. Each of those decisions shapes us, almost invisibly, into the person we're becoming. When you look back on your life, the hardships may stand out, but so will the ways you responded to them. You'll see moments where you chose bitterness, and maybe regret that. You'll see the moments where you chose courage, and realize that's where you grew. I don't think we're ever finished products. We're constantly being shaped, refined by the way we meet life, which means there's hope, no matter what we've been through. Even if the past is heavy, even if the pain feels permanent, we always have this one freedom left. The freedom to choose what comes next. So maybe the real question isn't, why did this happen to me? Maybe the deeper question is, what will I do with it now? And if that's true, then every hardship carries within it an invitation to rise a little higher, to love a little deeper, to live a little wiser. Not because suffering is good in itself, it's not, but because suffering, when we met with courage and meaning, can transform us into people of depth, compassion, and strength. In the end, we are not just shaped by what we endure. We are shaped by how we respond. And that means no matter what's behind us, the story ahead of us is still unwritten, and it's ours to tell.